Hey, you found me! Welcome back to my vlog. I'm so excited you decided to check me out. Either you're checking me out because you thought the punch needle sewing looked kind of cool in the tag, or you just happened to come across me and you're probably going to leave soon, but that's okay. So, I'm actually going to show you today what I've been doing in class a lot lately. I literally sit for 3 hours, maybe more, in a lecture. And I don't know about you guys, but I hate sitting still for that. If you're like me, you like to do something with your hands, you like to be busy, or else you're going to end up playing solitaire the whole time, which isn't looked upon favorably by professors. So, I have been bringing in these. And this is called punch needle sewing, not punch sewing, punch needle sewing, because if you look it up on YouTube, you'll get something completely different. But this is what it looks like. This is one I did in class a while back. This is the back. This is what you basically do a lot of your punch needling. This is kind of what it looks like on the side, so that's about how thick it really is when it's done. And if you feel it, it feels really nice, and it's very colorful, very fun. So I got a new one, and it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit tougher, but I think I'm up for the challenge, and I went ahead and got myself some new things, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm actually going to show you today how to do punch needle sewing, or what it looks like. Before I go, if you're interested in finding kits like that, or anything relating to punch needle sewing, obviously Google is the first place to start, but if you're going to go buy it, Joann's is about the only craft store I can think that has it. I've looked at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. They don't even have it, but Joann's does have it online and at the store. They're usually in between the knitting and the cross stitching and the latch hooking section, so you'll kind of find it around there. So good luck, and I'll get started on my newest punch needle sewing one. I'm so excited. Okay, so what you're going to need is maybe a box to keep things in. I like to keep mine in a nice little box with a little handle so I can take it with me wherever I go. And next you're going to need a hoop. This is a new one. I just recently got it. It's a little better quality and it's thicker, so I can actually put it on the table and punch sew using the table. A little bit easier on my hands, but I tend to like to hold it just because I'm used to it and because I tend to kind of look and see how my progress is going. And the reason I got a nice new hoop is because I've been using this, and it's very dinky, it's very cheap. I've had this since I was 6 years old, I kid you not, when I did my first ever cross stitching. And I don't know why I've held on to it this long, but I guess it's fairly good quality, but it is very old and it tends to fall apart pretty easily, and it would get kind of annoying. So finally went ahead and did myself a favor and got a nice one. And I mean, you can get these, of course, at any craft store that you want, so definitely get yourself a good hoop. Next, you're going to want to get your basic kit, and in the kit will obviously come instructions on how to do everything, in Spanish as well. It even shows you how you thread the needle, what direction. It gives you the chart with all the colors, so definitely keep this with you. And it comes with your thread. And what I like to do with the thread is write the numbers up here, so that way when I look at the chart it's just easier to see. So that's a good thing to do. Next, it'll give you, obviously, your pattern. This is the side that you punch on. Not this side, because, let's face it, there's nothing on that side. How are you going to punch anything when there's nothing on that side? So, punch on this side. And next you're going to need a pair of scissors, just in case. I tend to like to trim a little bit. Sometimes it gets a little, like sometimes there are some stray strands that you just don't want, or you want to cut halfway through, and it's easier to save on thread that way. And then finally, you're obviously going to need a sewing needle. They will give you a sewing needle if there's letter stitching involved. And your basic punch needle. This is what it is. This is the most basic one, and if you can kind of see, that's a pretty thick whole needle. Hope you can see that okay. And it has a hole right there, if you can see it. And then that's inside, and then that's the other side. And I like to compare this to the needle they poke you when you're donating blood, so yeah, I have a nice image there for you. And finally, the last thing you're going to need, and this is very important because this is the thing that will keep you basically punch needle sewing. Without it, you're basically done. This is a threader for the punch needle. They will come in packs of 2 with your punch needle, and I've had to get a ton of these. It's annoying because they will get all mangled and nasty like this one. If you can kind of see, it's very mangled and gross right now. But it still works. But you know, really keep those in good order. Try not to bend them too much. Try not to rip them apart too much, because without it, you're screwed, basically. So that is what you need, and I will go ahead and put my design in my hoop, and then I will show you how you thread the needle next. Okay, got it all hooped up here, and make sure it's nice and tight. You can play drums on it or something. And next I'm going to look at the directions to see which one I want to do first, and I've already looked and decided I'm going to start. It's better to start small, because if you do the big ones too much, I find it's harder to see the really small lines, and as you can see, there's some pretty small spots like the leaves up here, so I'm going to start with those first and make my life a little easier. So number 1 is right here, and they give me more on another strand, don't worry. So I'm just going to take that out. Now the thing with these, you got to check to make sure there's no sticky stuff on it, or it gets really hard to thread, believe me. And these come in a strand of 6, basically. So, in other words, 3 and 3. And you'll always basically need 3 strands. Sometimes it calls for 2, depending on, you know, which one you're doing, or if it's a letter or things like that. So, what's nice is I can count 3 and 3 and just kind of take it in half, basically. So it was that easy to figure out 3 and 3. And this part's always fun to twist it, basically. I feel like I need that fast forward music from Paranormal Activity or Scooby-Doo or something. I don't know why I just compared those two. There we go. Alright, so you got your strand of 3 here. Now here comes the fun part, and stay with me, okay? It's really tricky. You're going to take your little threader, stick it through. Not too much, just enough. Go. And I just realized this has some stickies on it, so I'm actually going to trim it really fast, because the sticky stuff just makes my life unbearable. There we go, much better. Much better. And it'll, there you go, it'll stay like that up there. You're going to take your needle, and then you're going to stick this part through the hole of your needle. You gotta be kind of careful. And if you watch, you'll see it coming up the top. There it is. And then you're going to take your thread and pull it all the way through, basically. So it looks like this, basically. Next, don't do anything just yet. You're going to take it back through. That's why this comes in handy. And not all the way, just enough to stick up this little tiny hole that I showed you earlier at the top of the needle. I'm going to stick that through there. And so it kind of looks like that. Next you're going to take the threads out of your threader, so then you don't even need this now. And then you'll take the excess and pull it so that maybe that much remains. And there you have it. You've just threaded your punch needle. And now I'm going to look on my directions to see, okay, I see where I need it. And I'm basically going to do this second one right here. And you're going to see how I punch it. Now, they're going to want you to punch it to your left, basically. And I know I'm pointing to the right on your end, but just left. Use your head. And you're just going to basically go up and down. I'm going to show you just now. I'm going to turn it so I can do it to the left. And punch, lift. Not all the way out, just enough to get to the next spot. Punch, and lift. Punch, and lift. And as you can see, and as you can hear, it makes that pop noise. And as you can see, I'm not even lifting it up that far. And then that's kind of what you got on the other side already. I know you probably can't really see it all that well, but because it's white to boot. But I mean, it's obviously not a whole lot right now, but that's basically what you do. And you just do that until it looks like a full leaf. And I'm going to go ahead and finish that section for you. And now let's say you need to turn around, and I'll finish this part for you. Punch, up, punch, up, punch, up. And you're basically, like I said, just going to your left. So it's kind of like you're writing backwards. If you're a right-hander, let's say, or even a left-hander, you're basically writing backwards to the left, not the right way, I guess you could say. So you're just going that way. And as you can see, I've done this a lot, so I know how to make it possible. And then what I do is I turn the hoop. I don't turn my needle, I turn the hoop for when I need to go back to maybe cover some ground to finish up that leaf. Down, punch, 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 punch. And voila! That's one done, pretty much. And that is punch sewing. Now let's say I'm basically done with that side. I don't want to keep going with it. I will just take my scissors, lift up just a little bit, and snip. And there you go. And then I can go to the next one if I want. It's that easy, you guys. So that is punch sewing. That's what I do in class. The teachers are okay with it, luckily. So if you're going to do this in class, make sure you ask your teachers. But it's also good to take to meetings or just do in your own time while you're watching TV or something, if you're very crafty like I am. And basically that is what I wanted to show you guys today. And next time I'll see you, it'll be something completely different, and we'll see where it goes. So good luck, you guys, and I hope this gets you into punch needle sewing. It's really fun. I highly recommend it. Hope you learned something new. Enjoy, and have a good one.